Happy eclipse season, Lightworkers and Starseeds. Welcome to the UA Light Celestial Readings channel. This upcoming Scorpio solar eclipse on October 25th kicks off our eclipse season and is complemented by forward movement from our major outer planets, Saturn and Pluto, after long retrogrades, thus triggering 6 months and more of really significant changes for the collective on a macro and a micro level. Please like this video and subscribe, and let's get into the psychic downloads, a channeled collective message related to the astrology, and then all of your individual horoscopes for this eclipse season related to the Scorpio solar eclipse on October 25th and the lunar eclipse in Taurus on November 8th. Certain channeled messages came through in a sort of stream of consciousness related to the major themes of this eclipse season. The first was just generally this theme of purification and detox, and it being a really powerful time to just cut all cords, like multidimensionally, in the vein of this sort of final purge, right? There was also a channeled message related to a song. And the song is by the artist named Don Richard. The name of the song is Crimson, and the project is a sort of multimedia project where there are sort of these sonic meditations related to feelings that are evoked by these particular deep colors. And in this song, Crimson, what really stood out were the lyrics in which the person, or she, right, is essentially singing about someone who wants her to wait for them to grow and mature, right, and essentially ascend. And the message that I really got from that was that there may be something that is pretty salient right now in the collective in terms of people's interpersonal relationships, and just generally coming out of Libra season, which rules the house of partnerships, and in general, partnerships being a sort of major area of transformation for people right now. And the major theme was, right, that essentially these sorts of relationships where someone wants you to wait for them to ascend, right? Maybe someone that you may be disconnected from, someone that you're even in sort of separation from, or at a sort of critical turning point, that it could be sort of detrimental to your sacral and root chakras, right? Given the color crimson, right? And what these chakras represent, right? They represent emotional baggage, and they also represent your material and financial security. And related to that, I also got the channeled angel number 411, right? So this being a powerful time to essentially do some deep purification and detox, and to walk into this new portal that's being initiated this eclipse season really fresh, right? And thinking about what it is that you want to build related to the sacral and the root chakras coming through in that message, right? This could also be talking about how it's important to kind of heal the sacral and the root chakras while considering purification and detox as it relates to emotional baggage, and even as it relates to things like diet and cutting cords. In medical astrology, Scorpio rules these areas, right? Scorpio rules our genitals, it rules our anus, our rectum, our bladder, sweat glands, and generally the excretory system, right? And waste. And so this is sort of this clear psychic message that's coming through that's about no more wasting time, energy, or attention on people, things, and situations who will delay your ascension. And this really connects to the recent Aries full moon. In particular, the Aries full moon was about being picky in your relationships in many ways. And one of the sort of channeled messages that came through was that this is a time to make powerful and new fated connections and relationships with powerful people, right, who are strategically beneficial for your long-term goals. In sidereal astrology, this eclipse is happening in Libra, right, which rules the house of partnerships, while in tropical, of course, this Scorpio eclipse is related to the ruler planet Pluto, which represents powerful people and bosses and even powerful institutions. And the ruling house is the 8th house of shared intimacy, mutual resources from your partnerships, investors, investments, assets, and property. And related to Pluto being the sign of sort of death and destruction and reconstruction and rebirth, the 8th house also relates to sentimental loss, right? And even deep healing through sort of going through a hero's journey in some ways. So when you take into account that the October 25th eclipse is also one where the Scorpio sun is conjunct to Venus today, actually the day that I'm filming this, and also on the day of the actual eclipse. And when you take into account that the November 8th lunar eclipse is in Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus and represented by Hierophant energy of high conscious commitments, relationships, and also money, it just sort of triply amplifies this theme. So it'll be really good for you to kind of look at the houses that Pluto and Venus are transiting in your chart. And those are some things that are reflected in the horoscopes for your individual sign that I will get into later. So related to the general collective message, in terms of the Sabian degrees for these eclipses, this Scorpio eclipse is happening at 2 degrees of Scorpio. And the mystical sort of Sabian teaching for this degree that's being activated, it's about working together. It's also about the value of healthy interdependency and cooperation for your highest destiny. But it's also about being wary of toxic bonds and even the seduction of nostalgia. And again, that draws in that sort of focus on both the sacral and even the root chakras. And the recent Aries full moon kind of comes in here too. The recent Aries full moon was at 17 degrees, where the sort of mystical teachings of this Sabian that was activated is also about turning our backs upon worthless, spiritually unprofitable relationships and essentially rejecting their lesser rewards, choosing instead to retreat and risk aloneness. And nurture and stay true to your inner values, because it's important to know ourselves deeply in order to connect healthily with others. The other sort of channeled message that came through was the energy of the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles tarot cards. So I'm getting that the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles is offering actually some powerful energy medicine for chosen ones and for Lightworkers at this time. The message I'm getting, right, is that it's really important to heal betrayal trauma. Yes, to heal betrayal trauma and to heal the core wounds of distrust that have been created, and needing to understand the power that the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles energy actually offers us. In many ways, in the tarot, 7 of Swords is often just condensed to this meaning of betrayal experience or some deception or some secrets, and that having a sort of negative connotation. But when you actually take any emotion and any trauma that might be triggered out of these sort of themes, it actually gives you some understanding about the power of stealth, of boundaries, of strategizing, of sacred selfishness, and about moving in silence related to protecting your best interests. And the thing is, right, for light workers and for chosen ones, a lot of times we have often moved through the world, had these sort of really hurtful and painful betrayal experiences based on a sort of green way of thinking and hoping, right, that others are also sort of moving through the world in a way where they are acting with these sort of just, truthful, and sort of pure-hearted intentions. And we've had to learn the hard way, right, that that's not true. We've had to understand both the light and the dark and to integrate it. And one of the ways of integrating the sort of energy medicine and the lessons around the Seven of Swords and healing betrayal trauma experiences is understanding the power of stealth, boundaries, a sacred selfishness, and moving in silence. That's actually really important for healers right now, right? And is also sort of key to a necessary ego death lesson that's up for healers and the collective right now. It's really important for healers to heal a savior and a sort of martyrdom complex. That is often a sort of final stage of ego death that isn't talked about enough, right? Especially while everyone is being activated, right? So Jupiter moving back through Pisces and through Aries is actually supporting our transition toward the Aquarian age, to really teach these lessons related to the Pisces age, right? The Pisces age was represented by and represents the extremes of ego. And that's what we see in terms of the rampant narcissism, gaslighting, histories of weaponizing and distorting psychological knowledges and spiritual traditions, while it also normalized these sort of stories and notions of saviors being sacrificial martyrs, right? Who really only received suffering as compensation for their spiritual labor. And of course, there's a really important lesson in that we don't do good out of an intention to receive something back, right? We do it for the sort of health and continued karmic sort of liberation of our souls, right? But still, there is something to be said about that overarching message, right? And what that has engendered in terms of the valuation of spiritual, emotional, and psychic intelligence and labor, right? How it has been suppressed, exploited, and that has contributed greatly to the ways that power is often embodied and used in greatly unethical ways. So Jupiter moving through Aries is sort of about us waking up and rewriting the rules of power and leadership, and starting to really revalue spiritual, emotional, psychic intelligence and labor. All of these lessons are also energized by Uranus and Taurus, and the North and South Node polarities of Taurus and Scorpio, in addition to the Saturn and Aquarius polarity to the sign of Leo, which also in sidereal astrology is the sign of Cancer. So in addition to Uranus and Taurus sort of causing us to question our senses of emotional, material, and financial means of security, the Taurus and Scorpio polarity energizes concerns about choosing oneself and transforming personal worth into material worth, without fear of what you're losing by walking away from shared resources in relationships that are full of risk, toxicity, codependency, or abuse, right? And choosing to perhaps stay in those relationships due to it appearing like a more grounded, financially secure choice when perhaps it really isn't. The Saturn and Aquarius polarity to Leo, flanking sidereal Cancer, is also about the tension of putting the self first versus the collective, right? So they both really sync up. And it's about breaking free from forced and enforced toxic codependencies, group alliances, and enmeshment patterns, right? As that may show up in family and other group affiliations. And so it's also about being able to see and use your psychic discernment to recognize people multidimensionally and to form relationships based on shared values. Those who are truly committed to breaking free from the matrix in order to generate a more light-filled legacy for the self and for the collective, and that including financial freedom. These are the sort of overarching messages and themes for the collective. Let's get into how the astrology of this eclipse season is affecting all of the signs. You'll find timestamps for you to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Hello there, Aries. I love Aries. Okay, so the theme of your horoscope this eclipse season is called Pressure Cooker and the Complete Overhaul. So, Aries, your self-concept, your foundational psychological wellness, your philosophical beliefs about the world, your self-worth, familial, personal, and business relationships, and your ways of making money have been in serious transformation for years. And they're reaching a point of pressure or combustion even. But it's about a release and a relief for karmic rewards this eclipse season. Now, of course, this is according to however committed you've been to your spiritual warrior path, passing tests and integrating lessons related to your faith in the face of the unknown, your intuition, and your belief in your visionary goals and your leadership. I actually suggest you go and watch the Akashic message that I actually channeled for you last year. It's a super sweet message with many more details about the intricacies of the meaning of the sort of tests you've been given. And many things apply because of the outer planet activity. Now, the gist is, if you've rebuilt and matured your core self-concept, truly understanding your values, your power, and your potential to build a prosperous life based on your unique creative and spiritual abilities, and if you've reckoned with and released pain from trauma, toxic bonds, and erected the necessary new boundaries and a financial literacy foundation to protect incoming prosperity, then this time is going to be somewhat intense and blessed as a final exam, right? The pressure cooker. Pluto and Saturn stationing direct is affecting your professional career, media, your relationship to astrology, your social networks, and visionary goals, while Jupiter is retrograde in your 12th and your first house, right? It's all about these final stages of destruction and overhaul of your former life and even certain talents of yours being hidden. And the reconstruction and rebirth of your new life in every way, where now you're going to be putting those talents and integrated lessons to use. And so things will feel scary while they're in this final stage of falling apart, while all the pieces of your secret goals that you've been working on are actually falling together. Saturn and Pluto are asking you to simply rise to your power. Don't get distracted by seeming setbacks. Complete the tasks at hand, which you are more than capable of. It's all about you demonstrating and practicing your mastery from all of life's tests in these areas. So maintain your integrity, your authenticity, and a blend of kind assertiveness in dealings, and surrender all worries. Practice a sacred selfishness because you have divine permission to, and don't lose sight of or let up in achieving your goals. The stars are aligning, so keep your goals to yourself, including plans that you have to relocate, and shine in all the ways only you can and that you've been preparing for so long. And it feels like a risk, right? Exactly because of the amount of uncertainty, the amount of blocks, distrust, and destabilization the last few years have placed in your path. But that's exactly it. It was pressure for the diamond. And it was about divine timing. Because what you have to bring to the world is so much bigger than you, will be so much more impactful than you even realize. It was all preparation. Your success and breakthrough is here and will be a reward for you surviving things that cause breakdowns for anybody else. The universe is asking you to trust them, your instincts, your one-of-a-kind talents, and the new collaborators that are incoming to aid in your success. Best of luck, Aries. You're so appreciated. Happy eclipse season, Taurus. This eclipse season is so incredibly powerful for you. And truly, since Uranus has been in your sign, things have been just truly powerful and transformative for you in general in terms of the astrology. I recorded an Akashic message for you last year where so many of the really deep and mystical sort of meanings of the things that may be transferring or transpiring in your life I talk about. So it'd be really good for you to check that out. So Taurus, your philosophical ideas, your spiritual beliefs and practices, worldviews, and even where you want to reside in the world has been in deep flux and been forced to expand for some time now. You've been completing and achieving big accomplishments related to opportunities you've created for yourself, despite dealing with blocks, ego battles with seniority figures, and seeming glass ceilings, all behind closed doors. In many ways, you've been grappling with a feeling of stuckness and seeming glass ceiling that has been created based on people you've aligned with, your self-image and feelings of jealousy about competitors who embody a likeness that you desire, and it's been created by your choices to settle because of your own disdain for discomfort. And you've been considering how these things mentioned have and will continue to affect your career, your reputation, and money should you surrender to adventurous growth that you're continuously feeling the call and the pull towards. For many of you in college or academia, or in committed love and business relationships, you're finally ready to end them, fundamentally transform them, and or create new partnerships so that you can shape your life around travel, learning new things, and new goals, very visionary goals that enhance your creative and financial independence after contemplating them for a long time. You love to have a plan, right? Pluto and Saturn direct, and Mars and Gemini in your second house of money and resources and self-worth are giving you the green light to finally push past any external and internal obstacles on what has been a long journey of reinventing yourself and your life. Best of luck, Taurus. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising sign for more. Hello, Gemini. So the general theme and title of your horoscope this eclipse season is called Assets and Liabilities and Strike in Silence. So, Gemini, Mars is all up in your mix for months to come, testing your cool and making or breaking your ability to maintain and or earn more assets. Everything and every move you make is political right now, regardless. And it's fodder for people who want to attack you or block you. And so you must move strategically by tapping into your higher mind, wisdom teachings, and your higher visionary goals that are all on the line. For some of you, it's your light that irritates others. For others, you must be self-aware of how you may be embodying a provocative angst and defiance that calls in attack from a space of your own unhealed wounds and defensiveness from previous experiences of being taken advantage of, misunderstood, and attacked because you've always been visionary and smart. Energy and vibes is potent right now while the veil is thin. And while Jupiter and Mars makes all of your actions have profound consequences. So you must check yourself too and practice spiritual defense, ironically through non-action, non-provocation, a cool head, and not giving your power away. Some of you need to relocate spontaneously for your higher good. It's actually a time for power plays and business investments in your best solo interests, where you channel any angst and warrior energy from Mars being in your sign into being the emperor of your own life based on failed relationships in the past, gifting you knowledge of your true net worth. In many ways, the testiness of everything is about whether you truly understand the ins and outs of certain industries and networks, whether partnerships within these industries and networks can hold or support your entrepreneurial goals, and whether they should in terms of how they do or don't align with your values and beliefs, or would make you partners with secret enemies, and where others would benefit more from your genius than you. Again. So the true solution is simple. Making sure you are well researched in every way to be able to create tight contracts, boundaries, and independent abundance from your genius. Hold your cards close to your chest and strike in stealth. Good luck, Gemini. Make sure that you keep a cool head and check out all of the other videos for your sun, moon, and rising sign. Happy eclipse season. Happy eclipse season, Cancer. Happy eclipse season, Cancer. So the main theme of your horoscope this eclipse season is the media mogul and master teachers. What can I say? It's up, Cancers. It's been a magical, mystical, and expansive time for you. Your journey of healing self and others, learning more about wisdom teachings, and being a wisdom teacher yourself, who may be viral on social media, and who has been making powerful and transformative connections and business investments, has been a long one. In many ways, you're coming to a sort of graduation point in this long journey of a spiritual initiation, exploration and self-mastery, even celibacy, where you are able to take a moment and gain a full view of the legacy and assets you've been able to create for yourself in any chosen or biological family, and coming to terms with how you are the pillar. For some of you, being the pillar of your chosen or biological families has put pressure on you in being financially literate and renegotiating the terms of your partnerships and relationships, be it familial, romantic, and business. And for some of you, you may be deepening or ending romantic commitments. That may be in the form of engagements, recommitment ceremonies, or divorce. So these things may be happening related to incompatibilities, and it's been a long time coming. Your journey of choosing yourself deepens and deepens, and a journey of reconnecting with your inner child, children, playfulness, and sexual life force energy begins anew. Look out for surprises with children, maybe even children having children, maybe even pregnancy, or pets as new additions to your family. Let us know in the comments how this resonates with you, and have a safe and incredible eclipse season. Check out your sun, moon, and rising videos. Happy eclipse season, Leo. So the overall theme for your horoscope this eclipse season is called Eclipsing Enterprises, right? So the relationships and partnerships with powerful people that you're learning from in arts, entertainment, beauty, and whatever industry you're in are changing your career big time. And this momentum is something you can continue to build. Take notes from these power figures on how to be a good leader and build trust with the people you work with and employ. People have no idea who you know, and when they find out who you know and when they find out your power moves, it shocks people. And the way you are moving in silence, peace, and power is a vibe. In many ways, this is due to a sacred spirituality, feminine confidence, or understanding of your heritage that you're continuing to explore and nurture in silence. Continue to be strategic, supportive, and neutral in relationships, and leave the gossip and petty competition to everyone around you. This leaves the lane open for you to shine. The health issues you or someone in your family, such as a sibling or a maternal figure, whatever health issues that you or them have faced, they may have improved, but continue to keep up with dietary restrictions and changes that you've been urged to make from any medical professionals. For others of you, a loved one who has passed is around you and wants to connect with you from beyond the other side. Jupiter in your ninth house is the Jupiter in Aries transit. But right now it is also retrograding back into your 8th house again, where it's been for a long time before it comes back into your 9th house. So this Jupiter transit between your 9th and your 8th houses is not only about expanding your philosophical worldviews and opportunities to physically travel for a career, but also about continuing to deep dive in wisdom teachings and travel beyond the veil, which might lead you to learning more about holistic health remedies that could be helpful, and creating career goals where success could come from help of your spiritual helpers. Last thing, don't forget to stay on top of your taxes as your income grows and grows. Happy eclipse season, Leo. Make sure that you check out your sun, moon, and rising video for a fuller picture. Happy eclipse season, Virgos. So the main theme of your horoscope this eclipse season is health, stealth, sex, and higher learning. So Virgo, you've been studying and learning and are approaching a big milestone in a degree or a trade certification in areas related to wellness, health, and helping professions to enhance your career. If it's not something official, then it may still be something that you've been exploring, or with some sort of creative project or commercial venture in these areas. For others of you, you are deciding to take on higher learning of a degree or a trade or a commerce venture after a long time of deliberating whether you can commit to the time and money investment. For those who have been in education, passing this milestone allows you to matriculate past difficult experiences with certain teachers and or past a part of the program where the workload made it difficult for work-life balance. It's almost as if you've experienced such high highs and low lows when it comes to results, taking care of your own health, and time spent with your children, hobbies, or enjoying sex. Something that has been a bit anxiety producing for your organizational standards and the sort of standards of perfection that you place on yourself. Particularly because it seems that exploring and expressing your sexuality, sexual empowerment, body positivity, considering cosmetic surgery, or connecting deeply with your life force energy has been something you've been craving. It may be that you're now being explicit with a committed partner about new sexual desires and your desire to transform and open up the agreements in your relationship so that you may explore them. For famous or highly visible people, I'm getting that NDAs are being updated for these and other kinds of relationships as you expand your circle. For others, I'm getting that negotiations and contracts with partners and investors in commercial ventures are also being updated and reviewed based on the success of efforts to date. And you have some exciting career things to launch, people to hire and fire, and maybe even fire and desire to explore. The pressure is lifting, but it will be super important that you're on top of your own health while you take on this new chapter of your career, uplifting others. Take good care, Virgo, and I hope that it's a wonderful eclipse season. Definitely take a look at your sun, moon, and rising videos. Let me know how this resonates in the comments. Hi, Libras. So, happy eclipse season. Your eclipse season horoscope theme is lessons in love and war. So, Libras, this is such a powerful, transformative time for you in terms of favor in the stars, actually. So much has changed and is still in transformation. Things like your committed love partners, choices in creative business partners that support revising and expanding aspects of your enterprises. Many of you are considering relocation or continuing to expand commercial ventures that consider fashion, home goods, and lifestyle. There's transformation of your body and self-image, your self-confidence, and generally you still claiming and rebuilding your sense of identity, your self-worth, your assets, abundance, independence, and a vision of your legacy that is separate from long-standing codependent relationships and any toxic projections and reputations from your past. You have had and still have an opportunity to sprinkle that Venusian fairy dust on legal problems, your reputation, and issues in your romantic life. Women in particular, I'm getting that you have had varying issues with fathers of your children and have to consider how they in any romantic relationship fits into your legacy and your reputation. Some of you are evaluating how your own confidence, integrated masculine and feminine energy, or lack thereof, and childhood wounds and father issues continue to consciously and unconsciously shape your choices and the events in your life. There is a need to honestly examine any patterns. There is a need to honestly examine just how sprinkling Venusian fairy dust on things and surface repairs versus a deep honesty and accountability with yourself and others, and being in touch with the deep, developed internal sense of self, ethical core values and integrity in your actions versus anything that's shallow causes some of the ethical and relationship issues you face. Big personal, political, and partnership choices loom for you that will continue to affect your home and family life, your finances, your taxes, and career. But like always, Libra, there is an opportunity to master certain lessons in love and war. And you always do it while looking fabulous. Happy eclipse season. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising for a fuller picture and let me know how this resonates in the comments. Happy eclipse season, Scorpio. Scorpio, the theme for your eclipse season horoscope is the new you and the new normal. Scorpio, you are being eclipsed and tasked with mastering a new normal in every aspect of your life, courtesy of a new sense of identity shaped by new roles you've taken on in your core relationships related to children and in career opportunities related to teaching, spirituality, occult studies, healing, healthcare. For many of you, this is about you being the pillar of support in your family and other relationships, and you having to navigate how boundaries with family, debt, financial codependency, and being a pillar in these relationships affect your ability to dedicate time and energy to your personal self-care, maturity, and enterprises of interest. You're continuing to process a certain sadness and a fatigue from ending a major chapter in your life, where secrets were revealed and brought changes in key relationships. However, you're making powerful new connections and learning just how much you know and where you still need to expand your knowledge in working with others, occult studies, health, and wellness. The looming lesson, courtesy of Uranus in your seventh house of committed partnerships, and the opportunity for you during this eclipse season is to deep dive and question whether you can or should continue to shape your life around unrewarded and asymmetrical loyalties and uneven power dynamics. What has the last chapter taught you about your worth? About how much of an asset and powerful organizational leader you are or can grow into? Mars and Pluto is asking you to shape your daily tasks and vision toward being a powerful emperor of your own life. Take good care this Scorpio season and this eclipse season. And take a good look at your sun, moon, and rising horoscopes and let me know how this resonates in the comments. Happy eclipse season, Sagittarius. So, your eclipse season horoscope theme is the psychic soothsayer. So, Sagittarius, did you know you were a healer, dear Sag? Did you know that the darkness you battle, the ways you dress yourself, your creative ambitions, and the truths you speak about all of it with that unique blend of blunt wit and humor is healing energy medicine for others? That despite the armor of jokes and avoidance, your deep sensitivity, wisdom, and care about others' well-being bleeds through, and that is what keeps karmically blessing you. If you didn't, I want to affirm you. You're something like a soothsayer, and your sense of your imperfections are actually so perfect and powerful, or said another way, they're your superpower. In many ways, this eclipse season is asking you to deep dive and continue to research more about supernatural phenomena that you've experienced and perhaps kept to yourself, to continue to research psychology and what it means to be an empath and highly sensitive, because you are one, and to commit to a healthier diet and building a solid spiritual sense of self and rituals to help you sustain your holistic health and master your new workload you're still adjusting to. Speaking of, mastering your workload will be easier with the new planetary movements, but it will be about you demonstrating all that you've learned. This will all continue to broaden your creative entrepreneurial success and put you in the spotlight. And we want to see and support you in the spotlight, dear Sag. But there are some changes you have to commit to with a consistency. You're a masterful leader and a psychic soothsayer. In fact, not truly knowing and accepting that you're a highly sensitive person and unique healer through your creativity is part of any mental and gut health issues that you face. Courtesy of 12th house Scorpio, as a highly sensitive, you empath and internalize people's darkness and subtle truths without knowing, without understanding how all the psychic and energetic debris is empathed through the gut, and that the internalized darkness isn't really always yours. Your whole life, though, you've learned to transmute energy through all your creative outlets and your feminist sensibility and food that isn't always the best for you, and to create emotional armor for protection. Eureka moments might be happening right now, right, with me telling you this. But this is why you battle depression and health issues. Often not understanding how the darknesses and heaviness you empath and then transfer to internalized feelings about yourself. This is why they're always so mismatched with how incredible you are in the eyes of others. But it's time to accept these truths about you, and in doing so, take care of yourself in the ways that truly reflect who you are. A star. Or a star seed. Happy eclipse season, Sagittarius. Definitely take a look at your sun, moon, and rising sign and let me know how this resonates. Happy eclipse season, Capricorn. So the theme of your eclipse season horoscope is your body, your temple. So Capricorn, you've been considering relocation for a job that may or may not provide better pay, or because you work remotely now, due to how the climate, the home environment, commutes, and daily routines could prove more nurturing and put you in contact with new social networks. You've been craving a certain freshness and freedom in your life that reflects new attitudes about yourself and a certain distance you feel in relationships you had for a long time. Some of you have made this move already, and if you haven't made the move already, Saturn and Pluto's forward movement gives you the green light to take action and make the moves you're considering. If you have made the move, the astrology points to you still navigating a new normal that is also about you navigating long-standing upgrades and evolutions in identity, sense of personal power, self-worth, net worth, your body image, gender and sexuality, and creative expression. You've also been navigating then how this all affects your romantic and friend relationships. In many ways, this connected web of themes has made relocation and new social and romantic relationship prospects so appealing. Some of you have been in long-distance relationships and made or will make a move that puts you in closer proximity or where you move in together. For others, it's reverse, and a relationship may be or has been transformed into a long-distance one due to your move and travel lifestyle. It is proving difficult to find work-life balance and focus on your health. And everything is telling you to focus on your health as a priority and to continue to nurture a relationship with your body. Happy eclipse season, Capricorn. Make sure that you take a look at your sun, moon, and rising for a fuller picture. Let me know how this resonates in the comments. Happy eclipse season, Aquarius. So your eclipse season horoscope title or theme is stress, relocation, sex, and rest. You've been traveling for work and working non-stop on projects that include things like media, writing, and publishing. You may be relocating for work too, or because you work remotely now, or because there are surprise issues related to your home. You've completed a huge milestone in your career, building your sense of identity and reputation as a serious professional, and are wrapping up a busy season where a new climate, home environment, time with children, playfulness, pets, and new daily routines may be more nurturing and help you renew. You've been craving rest, reprieve from drama and ops. Also craving a certain freshness and freedom in your life that reflects your freedom-loving personality and desire for fun, sex, and romance. Some of you have made this move already, and if you haven't made the move already, Saturn and Pluto's forward movement reveals information and gives the green light to take action and make the plans and the moves you're considering for both your safety and peace of mind. The eclipse season astrology points to you navigating a new normal these next few months, a new normal that is about having been navigating long-standing upgrades and evolutions in identity, sense of personal power, self-worth, net worth, body image, gender and sexuality, and creative expression. You've been navigating how this all affects your romantic and friend relationships and mental health. In many ways, this connected web of themes makes relocation appealing. Some of you have been in long-distance relationships and made or will make a move that puts you in closer proximity to your loved one or where you move in together. For others, it's reverse, and a relationship may be or has been transformed into a long-distance one due to your relocation and a lifestyle full of travel. In any case, your doctor's orders are for you to look into a therapist, some fun physical activities that relieve stress and is good for your mental health, and that includes sex. Check out your horoscopes for your sun, moon, and rising sign, and let me know how this resonates in the comments. Take good care of yourself, Aquarius. Happy eclipse season, Pisces. So, Pisces, the title of your eclipse season horoscope is called Favor Ain't Fair. And to be quite honest, it's short and sweet. Now, this is a saying that my mother will always say to me. Favor ain't fair, right? And so here goes, Pisces. For you this eclipse season, the question is, who said you can't do it all and have it all, Pisces? After all, you contain multitudes, and you have the gift of being visionary. You've been rebelling against people's expectations and glass ceilings with an understanding of your unique favor from the universe and your ability to constantly redeem yourself in the eyes of the great mother and the goddesses because of your heart. You've been protecting your abundance, your family, your privacy, and the reveal of new projects, and tending to your everyday spirituality in anticipation of drastic changes that are incoming to your daily routines. With Pluto and Saturn's forward movement, you're gearing up for launches, while hidden information may be revealed about power figures or institutions you've had long-standing relationships with and have been working with for a big project. So This eclipse season is about how you will transmute your 3D physical experiences by relying on spiritual understandings of energy and your powers of alchemy. Take a care this eclipse season, Pisces. Take a look at the horoscopes for your sun, moon, and rising sign and let me know how this resonates. Like I said, yours was short and sweet. There's so much mystical and mysterious energy that you're tapped into and that is just important. And so I'm going to leave it there for you, right? And I think you understand that. All right, take good care. If you've made it this far to the video, thank you so much for watching and supporting this brand new channel called UA Light Celestial Readings. Definitely take a look at all of the videos that are posted here. Leave some supportive and light-filled comments in the comments section for the collective of Starseeds and Lightworkers here, and any things that you want to see more of for this channel. Definitely check out and look out for some more content that is going to be coming related to this eclipse season in general. Take good care of yourselves.